Chase. Live 1 to 3, Monday through Friday on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville. Listen to Chase and his friends on WKGN. It's the Chase. It's the Scruffy City. Listen to his friends, and his friends are on WKGN. I'm always taking your calls on the Tennessee Vols. It's the Chase. It's the Chase. It's the Chase.
All right, Knoxville. The Chase is on here on Fan Run Sports Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and all streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. We're also broadcasting live on YouTube and X. Make sure you check us out there. Fan Run Sports, all of our shows from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. streaming live for free on our YouTube channel. Join the chat, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff as we continue to grow our YouTube channel, where you can see myself. You can also see William Pattison from Overtime 6 to 8 Monday through Friday, who is co-hosting with me on this Monday afternoon. Hope you all had a wonderful volunteer win weekend. Felt like fall for a little bit. Now it's feeling like fall in the morning and late evening, and then peak summer here in the afternoon, it seems like. So it's the most difficult time to dress, William Pattison, as someone who's wearing a crew neck right now, a Frazier crew neck for the good folks over there on Fan Run Sports on our YouTube channel. But yeah, it's a great time. Fall is in the air. I think we're 2 weeks out from the first day of fall officially, but Georgia week is here. William Pattison here. Brett Hoolander, Garrett Armbrist also here on this fine Monday, coming to you live from the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios right here in East Tennessee. William Pattison, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing well. Feels like Georgia week. I think there's a buzz in Knoxville right now across the airwaves. I was listening to the Tony Basilio show earlier, had a really, really good call. This guy came in and for like 47 seconds just let it all out, and I love it. And I tweeted it earlier today. I really haven't felt this kind of energy and buzz since the lead up to the 2022 Alabama game. And I think it's because it's early in the season. Tennessee's undefeated. You've liked what you've seen so far from Joey Aguilar in both of his appearances, throwing for over 200 yards in both games. And obviously ETSU is not a good football team, or not a team that you want to hold a litmus test to, but you've seen a lot of positives after an offseason that was full of question marks and unknowns. So I feel like that's why the morale is so high right now. And I don't know if you guys saw Pope Leo boasting a Tennessee jersey as well. Maybe everything's aligning for Tennessee this week. I don't know.
What was the context behind that?
I think some congressmen went up to, wherever he's at, and delivered him a Tennessee football jersey.
Interesting. And he's the new one, right? He's the Philadelphia Pope? Villanova?
Yes. XIV.
XIV. There you go. Well, how was your watching weekend, William Pattison? Did you have a good weekend?
It was good. I don't like that Tennessee is on SEC Network Plus, so I had that one on my computer, and then I've got the other 4 games up that have a little bit more substance. But it was good. I really enjoyed Baylor SMU. That was a banger game. Went back and forth. I was a big Sawyer Robertson guy coming into the season. Was not a believer in SMU, and a lot of people have been upset that I haven't ranked SMU. And I said, beat Baylor and we'll talk. They couldn't do it.
14 straight losses to Baylor.
Yes. And then Oklahoma, Michigan was good. John Mateer looks the part. Arizona State, my big loser of the weekend.
Great game, though. I was talking to my dad about that yesterday, where he was locked in on Michigan, Oklahoma. I'm like, Dad, you had to switch over. The game was Mississippi State, Arizona State. That was fantastic. Much better atmosphere, more evenly matched teams, it felt like. Oklahoma just kind of put Michigan on ice. It was kind of like what Tennessee did to Oklahoma and Norman last year, to me, is what that kind of felt like in a lot of ways. I still TBD on some parts of it. I mean, John Mateer played well, almost 300 yards passing, almost 100 yards rushing, but 19 carries against a good Michigan defense. You saw Haynes King, who carried the ball a whole heck of a lot in week 1 to get a win over Colorado. Guess who did not play in week 2? Haynes King. So I just think with these running quarterbacks, man, I just don't know if it's sustainable. So part of Oklahoma's trajectory is kind of dependent on how careful they can be with the design runs, how much Mateer is putting his body on the line. I mean, tough dude, obviously a great leader, but man, I don't know, 19 carries. You see that and you're like, you're not going to be able to get through a Tennessee game. 19 carries by that point in the year. You saw Diego Pavia last year, who broke down as the season wore on, but it was great early on because he was able to upset Alabama and play Texas really well. Like, obviously, that was a big part. And speaking of, it brings me no joy to come to this conclusion, William Pattison, but Vanderbilt for real again. Vanderbilt's offense, top 10 in rushing attack. Their yards per attempt through the air is really strong. Diego Pavia and what they did, 5 possessions in the second half at Virginia Tech, 5 touchdowns. Like, they just completely ended the Brent Pry era on the road in Blacksburg on Saturday. They're not going away. I wondered how they would be with an off season of tape on the Commodores, but they're going bowling. And I'm not saying they're about to win like 9 or 10 games, but Vanderbilt is a good team again. And I think they might be better than last year. I mean, I was just so impressed by what they did on the road against Virginia Tech. They played Virginia Tech better than South Carolina did, who were all in on South Carolina, but I would take Vanderbilt over South Carolina right now. And I think Vanderbilt's somewhere in the middle of the pack in the SEC. It brings me no joy.
What does Vanderbilt is back mean to you? Because Virginia Tech's not a good football team.
But still, I mean, 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns, and to completely just steamroll, like to get up off the mat after Vanderbilt had a rough first half. I don't know, man. Like, that was impressive. What they did at Virginia Tech in the second half was like they demoralized Hoagie Nation. Like, just complete. I was watching one of their beat reporters for Virginia Tech after the game. He's talking about like a despondent crowd. Like, it was just one of those deals where, I don't know, like those kind of just, hey, close the door and we're going to just beat the living tar out of you in the second half. I don't know. Like, it was just, I thought it was pretty impressive. Now, look, I'm not shaking in my boots from Vanderbilt coming to town here at the end of the year, but I was one of those people who I saw that, what was it, 4.5 was their preseason over under, William Pattison?
It was, I think, 5.5, somewhere around there, 6.5, probably 5.5. 5.5 or 6.5.
I think they're a good football team again, and I am very, very curious to see what it looks like under the lights this week in South Carolina, because I think they have a very real shot of beating the Gamecocks on Saturday.
I don't like that it's at night. It's going to be a 7:45 kick on SEC Network. I think South Carolina is able to get back in shape here, and I think the line being at 2.5 is interesting. I saw it last night when it opened. I thought that was a little bit low for South Carolina, but I guess they're giving a lot of respect to Vanderbilt, who went up against a similar opponent in Virginia Tech and had a little bit more success. But I think those opener games are always a little bit of a wash. Like, it's, you're spending all off season trying to get back into form. You're trying to get back into game pace. And South Carolina had a lot of, chances in that game to run up the score a little bit more than they did. Obviously, that one Nick Harbor touchdown was waved off. There were some, boneheaded penalties on both sides. But, like, that first drive, South Carolina effortlessly moved up and down the field. Vanderbilt going on the road is impressive. I didn't know if they would be able to come out with a win or not. But we'll see what they look like this weekend against an actual quarterback. Kyron Drones is terrible.
Yeah, that's probably over. The Kyron Jones experience. I just think the Brent Pry era at Virginia Tech is probably over. I will say, though, too, on the Vanderbilt side of things, so they're 4th in offensive efficiency per Football Power Index. I was going through their numbers. They're 10th in rushing offense, 5th in FBS on third downs offensively as well. So just good measure. Like, Tennessee is in a lot of those camps. The difference in Tennessee and Vanderbilt right now is just the downfield passing game. Like, Aguilar is top 3 in quarterback rating on PFF through the first 2 weeks here, but I made this note in my piece over on sportsrenaissanceman.com this weekend. Do you know, without looking, who scored? Like, Tennessee has played basically the same schedule to start this year and last year. William Pattison, how many points would you guess was the differential between what they scored last year versus this year in their first 2 games against an ACC and FCS opponent?
Who did Vanderbilt start the year
off?
Oh,
no, not Vanderbilt, Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee. Oh, it's the exact same, is it not?
Almost, but 2024, 120 points against Chattanooga and NC State. This year, 117.
Yeah.
And it's just something to consider when we're like, it's been better. And optically, the vibes feel different. The way they attacked Syracuse versus how they attacked NC State was very different, because NC State was just kind of one of those where Miles Kitselman was like, Kitselman's a dude. Kitzelman, we have the 12 personnel stuff's good, but the downfield shots, we're not in that game. The difference now is you have a lot more trust if those 3 starters are healthy. Brazel looks like he's taken a step, and I've been wrong about him. Braylon Staley has taken a step. Mike Matthews has taken a step. Now, if those 3 are healthy, and I think I said that before the year, if you can get close to 2,000 snaps from those 3, like you did in 2021 with Cedric Tillman, Bealish Jones, and Javonte Payton, like this passing game, especially down the field, should be a lot better. It's just keeping those guys healthy, keeping those guys upright, because you haven't really got much out of Travis Smith through the first 2 weeks. I don't know if I saw Amari Jefferson on Saturday. Did you? Because I saw Tommy Whitten in the slot, and I saw Joakim Dotson. I did not see Amari Jefferson in the slot, right?
Well, I think that's a good sign that you didn't see Amari Jefferson. That's not a guy that's going to be making any big-time plays anytime soon for Tennessee. I'm more intrigued by these younger guys like a Radar Jackson, like a Joakim Dotson. I talked about Joakim Dotson a lot on Friday as a guy I was looking forward to seeing on Saturday. This guy ran in the 400-meter dash, completed in 50 seconds. This guy's got speed. And he showcased that at Baylor last year when they were opening the season on ESPN, and he had one play where he just ripped it down the sideline. He's got really good speed, and I think you could use that, maybe not right now, but over the course of the season. If a guy goes down, you can throw that into a wrinkle. And Boo Carter, a guy that we'd anticipated to play offense, obviously those privileges probably long gone. You could throw Dotson in those spots instead of him because of that speed. So I do look at that. Real quick, errors and omissions. South Carolina, Vanderbilt -5.5 is the spread, not 2.5.
Well, I wonder if it's 2.5 if it's a day game. You get an extra 3 points for a night game in Columbia.
I don't know about that. I think you're putting a little too much respect on Vanderbilt.
It's probably true. But I will say, early on, Garrett did not like the Vanderbilt talk at the beginning. He was repulsed. It was like he was completely out on that conversation.
I'm not out on it. I mean, they're a decent team. They might make a bowl game. They still have Utah State on the schedule. And
Georgia State.
They still have Georgia State, so that's 4 wins there. I would assume they beat Kentucky toward the end of the year. Probably find one more. I don't think they're going to win more than 6 games. But Virginia Tech is pretty much just a dead corpse walking. I mean, their head coach is on the way out after the season. The quarterback, Kyron Jones from 2022 to now has gone significantly downhill.
Oof.
They basically have 0 skill position players that have made a difference in the game so far.
I don't know. Aiden Green, Powell alum, is pretty good. Aiden Green's having a good year for them.
But they don't have like an it factor player.
No.
I'd push back on that. Eli Stowers, I think, is really good.
No, he's talking about Virginia
Tech.
Tech.
Virginia Tech. Okay.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt has a couple, and I think it'll be. I think the Vanderbilt South Carolina game will be interesting. But the Virginia Tech football program, the team that they just played, they're going in a completely down spot. Like they need a new hire. There's no juice in the program. Virginia, I would say, is going to have a better season than Virginia Tech. They almost beat NC State this week. Chandler Morris looked good. Virginia's offense looked good. Virginia Tech, on the other hand, they don't have much to look forward to this season.
Yeah. Well, what are your takeaways, Brett? I know.
With what?
Well, Smokey.
Are we going to continue to talk Vandy football?
Yeah. Look at him.
Segment 1, we're talking about Vandy?
It's
Georgia week, buddy.
It is Georgia week. I'm just saying Vanderbilt's on the schedule. We're always talking about
You're
things.
overreacting to Vandy beating Virginia Tech.
I thought it was just impressive. My whole thing is because Tennessee, there's not a lot of
game on. I just now saw the score.
I think Mississippi State was impressive. I've been a Blake Shapen guy all summer.
We can talk that. That's more important than what Vandy did.
I'm just saying. I was looking through the number. I'm just getting ready for the show, and I'm looking and I'm seeing Vanderbilt really close to Tennessee in a lot of these top metrics offensively. And I'm just pointing it out that they're off to a hot start like Tennessee offensively.
Okay,
brings me no joy. Just like with Alabama, who did bounce back this week
against Louisiana Monroe. I'd hope they would.
Hold on, put some respect on Bryant Vincent's name. G6 Garrett knows what I'm talking about. You don't just get through a game against UL Monroe, and you can't lollygag through that one. That takes resiliency in week 2 for Kalen DeBoer's Crimson Tide to get up off the mat. You know that, William Pattison.
I don't know that, and I don't know how you think that.
Ty Simpson was out here looking like Grayson Lambert from Georgia, where he almost 20 for 20 out of the gate here. What was he, 17 for 17 early on in this football game?
After last week, losing to Florida State, you don't want to be the team that Alabama is playing week 2. You will get shoved in the mud, and you will not come up for air until the game is over. The game was over before it started.
Well, we'll continue the Tennessee talk because Brett is just beside himself at the Vanderbilt mentions here. We talk. Hey, look, that will be the last we mention Vanderbilt on this show.
What do you want to talk about? The Friday night game you went to?
Oh, I can't. My buddy from WBIR. Yeah, my buddy from WBIR, their sports reporter, he was like, if I see Chase coming at a game, I know that it's going to be a blowout. Because 3 weeks in a row, blowout every single game. I haven't seen a close high school preps game here in East Tennessee yet.
I don't know what you expected when you chose Elko and Gibbs, though.
Gibbs, spicy. Like this is the first time they've played in like 50 years. We don't have to do this. You're not going to bait me into this.
That's off the show stuff.
But it was still great. It was still a good time. When we come back, we'll talk about Tennessee, what we're still thinking about from that game on Saturday versus ETSU, best position groups that popped over the weekend, and a whole lot more for the Vols. Stick with us. It's a Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 865-544-8220. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at menspronknoxville.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor. But we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, performance, Peyronie's, size and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic performance and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 865-544-8220. Or book in 30 seconds or less at menspronknoxville.com. Men's Pro Knoxville, making it happen.
For over 3 years, Crumble Cookies has served the Knoxville area. From Clinton Highway to Parkside Drive, even our friends out in Maryville have reached you, our fans, with the best cookies in the game. This fall, Crumble is gearing up for yet another fantastic season. Whether you're tailgating or looking for a pick-me-up after getting the kids from school, Crumble has you covered. Download the Crumble app to check out this week's rewards and features. And stop on by. Tell them Fan Run sent you, but don't miss the cookies.
Got a flat tire? Strange noise under the hood? Don't stress. Roll into Matlock Tire and Auto Service. From oil changes and brake repairs to brand new tires, Matlock's certified techs do it all. Fast, friendly, and fair priced. Matlock is the home of the price match guarantee. Bring in any competitor's ad, and Matlock will match the exact same tire for the exact same price. Matlock Tire and Auto Service. 5 locations in East Tennessee. Visit MatlockTireService.com to find the location nearest you and schedule your appointment.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine. Live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today.
Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
Download VIP Play today or head to VIPPlayApp.com. Make sure you use the promo code FANRUN to take advantage of their welcome bonus and so they know that we sent you. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-8899-789. Must be 21 or older and located in Tennessee to bet.
Ready to launch your career? Axle Logistics is a leading third-party logistics company where excellence is an energy. With an award-winning culture, Axle proves that positive outcomes come from a positive environment and a work hard, play hard mentality. At Axle, the drive for success is infectious. And with an uncapped commission structure, hard work isn't just noticed, it's rewarded. For those with big goals and even bigger dreams, Axle Logistics is the place to start your career.
It's Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. You can call or text us. You want to get involved and talk about what you saw this weekend for the Vols, and as we preview Tennessee, Georgia all week here inside Neyland Stadium with College Game Day coming in 865-966-3435 is the way to jump in today with William Pattison of Overtime from 6 to 8 with us on this Monday. 865-966-3435 is the way to do so. Speaking of the celebrity guest picker, I've seen a lot of people. We've used a lot of the obvious ones. Who have we not used here locally that could be fun that we have not thrown out there, William Pattison?
I was thinking Rick Barnes. Why not throw Rick Barnes up there? I mean, he just got the extension. He's a pretty funny guy. I mean, if he's put in the right setting, I think he'd be good at it.
I can consider someone like just within the university and the coaches. Obviously, Vitello is always good, but he's kind of overextended, man. He's doing MLB Network live drafts. He's done it before. You never say no to Tony on the broadcast, but yeah, I kind of do wonder because Rick is one of those guys, you mentioned it, where you talk to anybody about Rick Barnes, they're like, he's subtly funny. Like you would not, like he's a funny guy. And I think that's just something that he'd be more of a natural at than I think some national fans or people who don't keep up with Rick Barnes would know, right?
Yeah. I think Barnes would be good up there. I mean, obviously, you've already used Peyton Manning, who's a really good public speaker as well. Has Morgan Wallen done it? I've seen a lot of Morgan Wallens.
I don't think he's done it.
I guess he's on tour, though, so it probably
he's apparently in Canada the day of the game.
Okay, so, yeah, you can throw him out. Has Dolly Parton done it?
Yes, right?
She did it in 22, didn't she?
That's what I thought.
The wrestler, Bianca Blair.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She's done it, though, I feel like.
Yeah,
she did it in 22.
She did it in 2022.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Because you had it twice in 22, I guess,
Yeah.
with Bama and Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Garrett, does anyone jump out to you that you'd want to see?
I don't know. Maybe like Cadence Parker or somebody like that.
Candace, I feel like, hasn't done it.
One.
That's a good pull.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What about you, Brett?
I mean, just the ones we've mentioned. I mean, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I'm always going to say Peyton. I love Peyton.
Okay.
I'm fine with him coming and do as many times as he wants.
Yeah.
So I got no issues with that.
What if
But Dolly would be cool, too, I think.
Dolly would be good. I also think, you know what we could do? Unveil the new Smokey because it's time.
Lord.
It's time to move forward.
Wasn't him running around the field on Saturday fun enough for you?
He was there at the very beginning and then gone again. Gone again. The live mascot still just not a part of the festivities here in Neyland Stadium. You know what's not going to look right on the broadcast on Saturday afternoon inside Neyland Stadium? Uga over here doing his job for the Georgia Bulldogs contingent and no Smokey potentially on Saturday. It's got to be addressed. We're going on 2.5 years here, William Pattison.
Of no Smokey?
No live Smokey.
We didn't have one last year?
No. We haven't had one consistently since 22. Since Smokey, what was it, 10? 10, right? 10 or 11. I get him confused. Which one's the new one? Is 11 the new one? I think 11's the new one.
What's the holdup? Why can't they get one?
I think part of it is like he doesn't handle crowd noise well.
Well, Saturday wouldn't be the one to try it out.
Yeah, I don't know. Saturday would definitely not be it. So I'm just like, all right, the broadcasts need live Smokey. Like we need to figure this out. Like this is one of those things. We have interns like Alex Sarkis on Smokey Watch here on Saturdays giving me updates on what the status is there. And it was a false alarm that we were going to get Smokey throughout the game on Saturday, but alas, we did not.
Maybe he's getting closer to returning by that video.
Maybe. Who comes back first, Smokey or Ricky Gibson?
Oh my God. Well, you hope Ricky Gibson.
Okay.
Well,
he proves a little more important than Smokey.
Ricky won't be until October, so they've got a couple of weeks here to get Smokey on the field. Try it for UAB. No one. I mean, I guess people will be at that one, but
can't they do a run through at practice? I mean, or with the bands practicing or something for Smokey?
I mean, my whole deal is who's going to bat an eye if you try out multiple at the one time? You know, like in the litter, you just try out a couple different options and you see who is most comfortable with the crowd noise. And then you're like, all right, that's our new Smokey. But just picking one before they actually experience the crowd noise and all that, it's a bold move, Cotton.
I wouldn't have guessed it's been 3 years. I didn't know you were such on top of this story.
I mean, I would have blinked an eye if there was one last year.
That's wild.
I didn't know anything.
It's very obvious. Is it not really obvious to y'all that they just don't show Smokey howling an entire 4-hour telecast?
Well, usually, I mean, I don't know. When I go to the games, like I'm not looking to see if Smokey's coming out of the tunnel with the team.
Well, no, he's running out with the T. It's after the score. Like he's not.
So he is there.
I think he did I'm pretty sure he ran out with the T from my sources in the building.
So what else do you want from him?
after scores and just hanging out on the sidelines after every Tennessee score. He's howling and all that in the broadcast. You need it.
Maybe he'll be out there with Ben because I know Herbstreit's going to be there. So
is Ben the new dog's name, or I thought that was
what's the
Peter?
Peter.
Is Herbstreit not going to call?
No, they've already announced it. I saw Shumpert put it out.
Okay,
it's Fowler, Herbstreit.
That's good. I like that.
They were supposed to go to
LSU, Florida,
but
yeah.
So who's doing that?
We were Plan B, I think, for
they'll
game day.
They'll probably have Tessitore, McElroy.
The real question is who will call Miami and USF on the CW network.
Yeah. They actually didn't have that bad of I don't know. I saw mixed reactions this week. I watched that entire Baylor SMU game. There's some mixed reactions on it. But that was the most undisciplined game of football I think I've seen in a while. There was a stretch of 6 penalties in a row. Just stupid stuff. But I just love Georgia week. Let's talk Vanderbilt and Smokey's running out of the end zone.
He would have lost his mind if Boo wasn't returning punts today.
I don't blame you. He looked good. Thank gosh he came back.
I'll change the subject.
I mean, that is a part of it where I sent a gift to the Tennessee group chat about it where it's like imagine for a lot of the Tennessee coaches potentially and some fans where it's the gift from The Office where Michael is making Kevin eat broccoli. And he's like, eat it. And I just imagine that's like one of those where, look, I don't care if you like Boo Carter at this point. Mm-hmm. He is an unbelievable athlete and an unbelievable player. And you saw 4 returns, 94 yards. He, for some reason, keeps getting stopped by the punter. Like that's now twice in the last 2 years. He's been kept out of the end zone by the punter. It's just bad luck there. But I mean, he flipped the field. Like you didn't need it against ETSU, but it was one of those deals where what are we doing? Like Boo Carter he made that 9 players miss on that return where he got down to the 1 yard line where it's just he and Mike Matthews are the only 2 guys on Tennessee who have that kind of make the first guy miss twitchiness. Like they have real wiggle. And you saw that a little bit with Mike last week. You saw, his unbelievable play where he just kind of, I don't want to say mossed a guy, but just kind of came out of nowhere. He's a blur and he's an athlete, man. He did something similar to Kent State last year where I think he had the most acrobatic catch there too. So they're just kind of different athletes. Like they're just super talented guys. And look, the group chat would have been in shambles if Boo Carter was not returning punts. You needed to get him right, get the dust off. Like I don't really care about the star stuff as much. He's rotating in there a little bit. Jalen McMurray's been good, but he had to return every punt. And that's potentially a big part of you trying to upset Georgia on Saturday is Boo Carter returning punts, because we will see how this offense handles Georgia's front seven Georgia, I think, has given up 14 first downs through 2 weeks. There's real offensive issues, but I think their front seven is the best they've had in the last 2 years, I would say, since going back to 2023, maybe even 2022. So Tennessee's going to have some challenges in the front. They have not faced a front seven like Georgia's of yet. Chris Cole, a Tennessee target a couple cycles ago, he's been really good for them. Georgia's linebackers are strong. Their front four is strong. Elijah Griffin, they have some 5-star guys. Jordan Hall is healthy. Like they have dudes once again on that defensive line and in their linebacking core that are going to be a challenge for Tennessee. But yeah, Boo Carter being a factor on special teams again, you missed it. And it just kind of looked like D. Williams back there, man.
Well, look, if Boo Carter returns punts and kicks on Saturday, let's hope Jalen McMurray can make the correct block, as he did not do in that Georgia game a year ago. Should have been a Boo Carter touchdown on a punt return. But, yeah, it's good to have Carter back there. Obviously, he's a playmaker. He's a guy that gives you a huge field position boost, as there were multiple times on Saturday where he, took it 30, 40 yards and put you in the red zone. One thing that has to be improved on is, finishing drives, completing drives once in the red zone. A couple of drives stalled out around there. You're not going to be able to leave points on the board against this Georgia team this upcoming weekend. And, Georgia's always going to be talented defensively. You're talking about the defensive line and linebackers. They're always going to be good, period, if Kirby Smart's there. And there are, guys like KJ Bolden and Everett and the secondary, I think, are leaders and guys with plenty of experience. The interior is, a little bit more youthful, but these are guys that are recruited at a high level and just haven't played a ton before this season because there were some really good guys in front of them. So Georgia's defense is going to be good. I think Tennessee's going to have their hands full, especially guys like David Sanders making, hopefully, his first start on Saturday.
Would you start him on Saturday?
Well, I mean, I'd go best available. Even though Sham Umarov has been very good, I will say. I mean, the offensive line as a unit has been really good. Jesse Perry continues to impress me. Lance Hurd had a blueberry pancake on Saturday. I mean, obviously this is ETSU, and when we can't overlook that and dive too much into it. But I think the offensive line has been good, and I think it's shaping up to be one of the stronger units so far that we've seen under Heupel. And I get it, we're only 2 games in, but just the cohesiveness of them. And it feels like they've all got a good understanding. I've been really, really impressed with Jesse Perry, a guy that impressed during training camp and is having to, play that role. Maybe wasn't so sure he was going to start there, especially if Pendleton ended up being the starter outside of center and you started Satterwhite. Perry probably wouldn't start. But now Perry is starting because of that opportunity. He's made the most of it. And again, Sham Umarov has looked good. And you look at the rushing numbers on Saturday, 276 yards. It's pretty impressive. I get it. It's ETSU. But I feel like the quarterbacks have all had plenty of time to throw, both against Syracuse and the Buccaneers on Saturday. You mentioned that Mike Matthews catch. Let's not try that this weekend, though. What
do you mean not try that? Aguilar's throwing some stuff up.
That ball would have been intercepted by a Georgia DB.
Look, I don't.
KJ Bolden would have had one hand on that thing and taken it 20 yards.
I mean, I don't disagree, but do you really believe Aguilar is just going to not? I mean, he is an improviser, man. Like Aguilar is playing outside of structure. He's going to throw some stuff up and see what he can get away with.
But that's exactly what messed him up at Appalachian State. I think the good thing about the Syracuse game is he was on time, he was on schedule. He continued to run the Josh Heupel script, the choice routes, the occasional deep shot once you lead it up. I get it. It's ETSU. You want to have a little bit of fun, showcase what you can do. But those type of plays where he zips it up into double coverage, that's what got him in a lot of trouble at Appalachian State. I don't think Georgia's the game to try and test those things out either.
Well, those are two different conversations. What he should do versus what do you feel in your heart of hearts Joey Aguilar is going to do? It's like the whole Green Goblin mask meme from Spider-Man where it's like, I don't know. I think there's going to be a pull for Joey to want to make a play because I think he is naturally a guy who tries to make plays and it works. I mean, that play outside of structure against Syracuse where he's rolling to his left and he basically lofts it to Star Thomas in the end zone, makes a play out of nothing. Like he's really comfortable making plays outside of structure. Tennessee has not had a quarterback like that ever in the Heupel era. And I just, until he has no picks, he's been sacked 0 times. He hasn't been pressured all that much. I mean, he's going until these kind of come back to burn him because you saw that early on with Milton, right? Like Milton was allowed to do some stuff until he wasn't. And Heupel was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Like, I just feel like Aguilar is going to try some stuff. And until it backfires and until that play, like where Mike comes in and grabs it, until KJ Bolden snags that or something, they're going to try. I mean, Aguilar's going to try stuff, man.
I know, but in a game like this, a play like that is what could turn things totally around. So trying that against the Georgia, I don't think is smart. And I think the reason why you saw that this weekend from him is because obviously he knows the opponent. He knows, you're going to win by 50 and you've got some more leeway. But I'm okay with Joey Aguilar extending plays. I'm okay with him going off script because I do believe that the best type of quarterbacks can do that. But the risks against a Georgia should be limited to where we're not throwing in double coverage and zipping it 50 yards down the field, hoping for a 20% ball to be completed. Those Georgia DBs are not like the, guys that played at Carnes for ETSU.
Whoa.
Like these guys are good football players at Georgia. Like I'm just saying, they're not high school kids out there.
But he did throw it to where it was going to be on the 5-yard line. Like, so if Georgia happened to get that one, it's inside. It's an arm punt.
I know, but
do you believe him, by the way? Because he said it was intended for Mike when he was rolling out and sent him that way. Do you think it was actually intended for Mike?
I mean, that's what I would say too.
I mean, Travis Smith was right there too. So
that's what I'm saying. Like it was convenient. I don't know. I do respect him being like, I was pushing him that way, and I saw something, and I threw it up. And
I mean, he pointed to somebody. I assume he pointed to Mike before he threw it.
Yeah.
It's like when you bank a 3 and you're like, I was going for the glass.
Yeah, exactly.
I respect it. He was like, no, that was the plan.
I mean, I hope it was a plan. And I'm not trying to be, critical about Joey. I think he's played well, but the conversation we had all offseason was this guy had an interception problem last year. He's not going to be able to do that. And I don't think Georgia's the type of game to test things out and see, can I slip this one in double coverage? Like,
I think that's actually, I don't know. I kind of go the other way because I think the only way you're going to beat Georgia is making some of those plays because you have struggled to win inside of structure. I think part of what Georgia, when they lose, when Kirby Smart's defense gets carved up, it's because Joe Burrow is making crazy plays all over the field. When it's like guys,
Joe Burrow,
come on, Joe.
No. What I'm saying is Joe Burrow was a cannon that season. When they dropped a bunch
if you
of
want to say
points on
Milrow from last year,
I mean, even
like,
Milrow, where they're taking shots with Ryan Williams down the field.
Ryan
early
Williams
on.
is
Joe Burrow had
dudes,
like
though.
the Avengers next to him.
No, but what I am saying though is ultimately you need elite quarterback play where you're making big time throws and you're throwing in double coverage. You're making plays outside of structure because Kirby Smart's defense has completely shut down Heupel's structure, especially in the second half. You haven't scored in the second half in the last two meetings. The only way for Tennessee to beat Georgia is Aguilar to make plays like that he did. Like those are 50-50 balls, whatever. But he has to hit some of those. Like, I don't see Tennessee having a chance to win this game on Saturday if Aguilar does not hit some of these balls where you're like, no, yes. Like, because that has been the difference is you have not had that guy at Tennessee yet to go up against Georgia and to really put a lot of stress on this Georgia defense outside of structure. I don't think you can have one without the other. And but to your point, like if it doesn't work, it's going to get ugly. But I think he has to I think Aguilar has to take those chances.
I think if Georgia was like a 14-point favorite in this one, you could do stuff like that. But like, I don't think from what we've seen so far this season, I don't think Georgia is that much ahead of Tennessee. I think they've got a better team. They're more well recruited, all of that. But you have the advantage in this one with the home field being a huge factor. You've got a quarterback that's never made a start on the road before. You have a lot of advantages in this game. You've got to play to those strengths where I think if you get erratic and start trying to just do stuff out of your wheelhouse, like I'm okay with an occasional chance here and there, but rolling out and zipping into double coverage 40 yards down the field, I think is a losing play when you've got a good situation this weekend. I think if you stay on your game plan, I mean, last year on the road, I thought the first half, Tennessee had a really good game plan. When things started going downhill, boneheaded penalties, false starts, what was that, like that targeting type hit, whatever it was that extended them, like stuff like that. That's where things go downhill. I thought Tennessee, when they were on script last year against Georgia, things went pretty well.
I think you just have to take calculated shots. Like this is going to be a low scoring game. It's two good defenses. If you keep track of Delp and you keep track of Branch, it's not going to be a high scoring game. You have to win from either, a positive turnover margin, a special teams play, and making sure that you don't create dumb penalties. I think you just have to stay in the game as long as possible, because if you try and make those plays in the first half and you go down 21-7 at halftime, you're not going to win the game.
I don't know if it's going to be low scoring. So the only low scoring game was 22 of the last since 2017. Georgia scored 41, 38, 43, 44, 41, 27, 38, 31. And that was the rain. And Georgia put that game on ice in the second half because it was just pouring down rain. And they were like, we can just get out of here, kind of doing what Tennessee did to Oklahoma a year ago. So barring crazy rain that we're not forecasting on Saturday, I don't know if it's going to be low scoring.
You see us scoring?
I think we have the best shot of putting
I just don't know enough.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, we've not seen Mike Matthews go against a good corner yet. We haven't seen any of our guys.
Well,
we have an extremely inexperienced team. Aguilar's never seen a defense like this.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee, and we got to go to break. We'll continue the conversation.
Corners. I mean, it's tough.
Well, I mean, Tennessee's, in the 4 meetings previously, Tennessee's receivers have not handled Georgia's physical secondary well at all. Georgia's secondary has just manhandled Tennessee receivers. Just manhandled them.
Yeah.
And I think for that to flip and that's a lot of pressure on 2 redshirt freshmen and a redshirt junior. So we'll see. Brazel's had a hot start. Mike, Braylon, we'll see if they're able to withstand Dalen Everett and company over there on the perimeter. I don't know. I think it's possible, but KJ Bolden and there's a lot of talent. Elias Robertson and all those guys, they're going to be challenged against some very physical blue chip guys on the perimeter. And Tennessee has not been able to do anything on the perimeter to this point in Kirby's, but we'll see. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation with William Pattison of Overtime in studio with us on this Monday from 6 to 8. Monday through Friday, you can listen to William right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville. Call us, text us if you want to join the program. When we come back, 865-966-3435 is the way to do so. 865-966-3435 is the way to jump in here. And also streaming on YouTube, Fan Run Sports. Check us out there. Join the chat. It's right here on Fan Run Radio.
Catch up with all things Fan Run by subscribing to our podcast feed. Like, rate, and download the show from the Fan Run app or wherever you get your podcasts.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your home exterior needs. If your home needs new siding, windows, doors, gutters, handrails, a deck, or a new roof, then give my friends at North Knox Siding and Windows a call at 865-689-0505. You can also visit their showroom at 5618 North Broadway. Locally owned and operated and proudly serving all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas, North Knox Siding and Windows. Online at northknoxsidingandwindows.com.
Have you ever found yourself wishing your clothes looked brand new again? Whether it's your favorite suit, that little black dress, or your comfy winter coat, Crown Cleaners can make it happen. From stubborn stains to delicate fabrics, the expert team at Crown Cleaners uses the latest cleaning technology to ensure your clothes come back looking and feeling fresh. Visit one of their 2 area locations, Kingston Pike on Bearden Hill or South North Shore Drive near Dunkin' Donuts. Online at crowncleaners.com. Crown Cleaners, a tradition of excellence.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
Vol fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Rickard Ridge Barbecue, located in beautiful Cove Lake State Park. Rickard Ridge is home of the best ribs in the volunteer state. Smoked daily by pitmaster Mark Rickard. The barbecue at Rickard Ridge is mouth-watering, fall-off-the-bone delicious. Take the scenic drive up I-75 to exit 134. For directions and to look at the rest of the menu, visit Rickard Ridge online at rickardridgebbq.com.
On radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. You can watch us on Fan Run Sports on our YouTube channel. Well over 1.65 thousand subs and growing more and more every day. Make sure you like and subscribe and check us out there on if you want to watch the show and any of our shows right here on Fan Run Radio and Fox Sports Knoxville. You can do so on our YouTube channel. You can also call or text us. If you want to jump in today, 865-966-3435 is the way to have your voice heard right here with William Pattison of Overtime from 6 to 8 right here on Fan Run Radio on this fine Monday. Overreaction, underreaction Monday. Brett, your biggest overreaction from the game is what?
There's no reaction. I mean, we did what we're supposed to do. I mean,
Oof.
there's just. I mean, what am I supposed to say?
Well, what's
it was like a pitch and it was just a pitch and catch for us, really.
It's true, but it could have been
like.
I mean,
I don't know.
Georgia
we scored 72 points, a school record.
It's true.
Congrats. I mean, we didn't get hurt. I mean, it's more of an underreaction than an overreaction on anything.
Did nobody get banged up in this game? I guess no one.
Not
really
that I
jumped
really
on.
remembered.
Yeah.
And I looked it up. Mari played 2 snaps.
It's 2 snaps.
Yeah. So.
Yes, that means he's behind walk-on Tommy Winton.
There was quite a few that he's behind if you go by the snap count.
Okay. I thought it because I was checking and I went back and through the second half. I'm like, I don't see Amari Jefferson anywhere. I just kept looking and I'm like, he's in that or, in the depth chart where it's like Amari Jefferson or Joakim Dotson. I don't know. Amari Jefferson was nowhere to be seen on Saturday. So we'll see on that front. But yeah, I don't know. Rodarius Jackson had some good plays. Memphis' own Rodarius Jackson on Saturday.
Yes, he did.
He looks like he's going to be a player for Tennessee.
But it's just those guys aren't going to play.
I mean, they're one injury away from playing.
Well, I
Rodarius
realize
Jackson's
that,
one
but,
injury away from.
I could see Rodarius Jackson and Travis Smith playing
On Saturday?
Maybe not this Saturday. I mean, very well could.
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood, you don't want any injuries.
You just don't. I mean, you just don't have the guys.
Yeah, I mean, you're one injury away from one of those two playing significant snaps.
Still didn't see a lot of tight ends. I mean, I feel like those are guys are going to need to play a bigger role than they have so far.
Are we selling Ethan Davis breakout year, or do we need to wait a little bit longer on that front?
He's been blocking great. I mean, that's about.
I mean, as a pass catcher, no, but
yeah.
I mean, as a blocker, yeah. I mean, I breakout year. I haven't seen that so far.
No, it's kind of odd.
But we wanted to see the receivers more so in these first couple games than we did tight end, right?
Well, I've said all summer and spring, it's like it's no coincidence Tennessee's top 2 offensive scoring seasons were built around the deep vertical passing game to your receivers. Like that is the best version of Heupel's offense. The running game will always be there, but if the tight ends are leading you in receiving at any game, go back last year. If Miles Kitzman led Tennessee in receiving at the end of the game, Tennessee did not have a good day at the office. And I think if Miles Kitzman or Ethan Davis leads Tennessee in receiving, it's a bad day for Tennessee's offense. It's just it's going to be really hard for them to win football games that way. Like
I think I was just hoping Fant could be like a Fant, like that athletic guy that does it all. And it's
I love
not
Princeton
really,
Fant. I miss
not
Princeton
really,
Fant.
Yeah, I mean,
but they've been really good in the red zone. So we should point out Tennessee has been really good at converting the red zone trips into touchdowns, and that was where Princeton Fant was really missed the last couple of years. But I do think that's something.
I think Dorselair's got a future. He made a nice catch and run and things like that. I mean,
yeah,
the talent's there for sure. I think
so. I will say, I don't know if y'all saw it, but Peyton Lewis did not have a good day at the office. I would say it's kind of been up and down for Peyton, and I'm a big Peyton Lewis guy, Garrett. But it does seem like Star Thomas is like your hardest, most consistent runner through 2 weeks. Bishop didn't have a lot of carries. What did he end up having?
3 carries, 68 yards.
Yeah, so maybe that was by design to keep him fresh for Georgia.
Had a terrible drop on the sideline though.
Yeah,
that went right through his hands.
It's not great too when you talk about when you have the drop and it's like he doesn't wear gloves because like didn't he talk about like not wearing gloves as part of the and you have it is what it is. But I also just don't think that's what his game is. Like Star Thomas is very comfortable catching the ball in the backfield. I don't know why we're calling pass plays to Sean Bishop. Like we can go ahead.
I think that was like a check down.
That's just you're playing ETSU. Let's see what we have here. Type of play.
I don't want to see that on Saturday against Georgia.
No, I mean that's not Bishop's game. That's Thomas's game. I mean he had 300 receiving yards last year at Duke.
Yeah,
I think he's the most well-rounded running back in the room. I mean obviously a 5th-year senior. Has been there, done that, been RB1 on Power 4 teams before. He's been the most impressive running back so far on this team. I don't think there's any question about that.
What's the biggest underreaction, William, from this game you've seen from fans or talking to folks that you're like, I think this is actually a bigger deal, or maybe even through 2 weeks than a lot of Tennessee fans or national media are giving Tennessee credit for?
Well, I think it's tough to take a whole lot of substance from Saturday. I mean, that was kind of just a glorified practice, if we're being real. If I had to pick one thing, I mean, it'd probably be on the defensive side of the ball. I thought the defense played, well on Saturday, but they should. I think the biggest thing is you just need to get healthy. You need to get those guys in the interior back. I mean, David Hobbs. If David Hobbs is available this week, I think that's a huge hit for Tennessee. That would be huge. I mean,
he was still in a boot on Saturday.
Yeah,
from what I could see.
Yeah. I don't know.
Imagine him playing.
I don't know what his specific timeline is. I know they had originally said that it could be a couple of weeks, but obviously we know that Josh Heupel isn't very friendly when giving accurate,
find out Wednesday.
Yeah, accurate updates. Yeah, we will have that Wednesday. That's the good news. We will have, so we'll know where David Sanders is trending.
Game time decision probably.
Yeah, but they went ahead and ruled
he can't play Saturday.
I mean, he can play. I just wouldn't start him. Jesse Perry's looked good through 2 weeks.
That's a big step to just come out.
Well, I mean, to rotate, to give him some snaps, to get it.
Perry's been good. I wouldn't take him out unless the right guard struggling.
I mean Perry's still he's still a redshirt freshman. Like Perry, still giving Perry 60 snaps potentially against Georgia's front four. I don't know. If you could break it up a little bit with David, I would do it. That's what I would do. I would ease David Sanders into it if he can go. Like give him some reps and see what you're at, see how he handles Gabe Harris and Elo Medozi from Georgia on the edge. See how it works.
I think you're setting him up for a tough day though, because if he is not good, everyone's going to be like, "Oh my gosh, David Sanders, what a bust!" That's a tough spot to go in.
Yeah.
But you can't avoid that. Like you can't just keep him on ice against all the big teams. Or I mean,
I think if Perry's struggling, you want to bring him in that situation.
But then you might lose Perry.
Why?
I mean, that's a bad look. It's like, hey, we lost some confidence. I don't know.
Said mix it up.
I would mix it up. I mean,
how's
Sanders, Perry going to feel?
Sanders is your
long
long term. Like, I mean, that's who you brought him in to be a starter. It's not, Perry's playing better. We're just going to keep him out the whole time. Like,
I mean, Perry's a starter for you long term. It looks like whether it's right guard, right tackle. I don't know. Jason,
but your 5-star offensive tackle has to play.
Well, so Umarov's out in this situation.
Umarov will be the guy out.
Yes.
Yeah. Umarov will be the guy out. He's done well. He's done his job. I'm not saying that you should not play Sanders, but I'm just saying it's a tough spot to throw him in if he hasn't played a college snap before, and now you've got to go up against a Kirby Smart defense. Yeah. I just think that's a tough spot to go in. I'm not saying don't play him at all this weekend, and he won the job in training camp, so he's proven that he is the best guy at that position. But I think it's a tough ask for him to go in with cold feet. Has not had 2 games of game repetition and game experience where you're practicing the speed of the game and, getting back to the line of scrimmage. I just think that's a really tough ask for an 18-year-old as good as he is.
I'll say this, though. So all of Tennessee's starting offensive linemen graded out above 70 on PFF this week, and they've graded out really well to this point. Satterwhite graded out well. Satterwhite was better than Pendleton at center on Saturday. Pendleton had another bad snap. Pendleton has been good, but there was Joey Aguilar has helped Pendleton out a little bit there. So Pendleton is kind of shaky at center, not in terms of blocking, but just some snaps. Like one bad snap against Georgia could change a lot.
Was it a bad snap on their first score
for
ETSU?
It's a good question.
I can't remember. I think Aguilar should have fallen on it, but I couldn't remember if it was a snap or.
I don't think
that the one that he like the
one he muffed.
Yeah, that was a bad snap, inside of their 20. So they got like really good field position.
Because it led them to scoring their first points.
So it's just something to monitor. Like Pendleton's been good, but I don't think Pendleton's your long-term center. I think it's good that Satterwhite's playing. I think Satterwhite. I think the biggest concern you heard rumblings was like, him snapping the football. I'm like, all right, Satterwhite didn't have any problems snapping the football. So if you're Tennessee, that's what's underappreciated here is that the offensive line has options, man. Like I feel the best about Tennessee's offensive line I felt in the Heupel era because you're sneaky deep in a lot of areas you have not been this deep in. I think you're going to be deep the next couple of years.
Last year's was a Jim Moore, finalist, top 5 offensive line in the country, right?
I mean, your right tackle was your right.
I know, but I'm just saying, they weren't
right.
They weren't terrible.
And this year, I think they're really good. I think this unit.
They ran the ball. I mean, they still ran the ball really well last year.
I mean, Lance Hurd is good. He's having a great contract year for you at left tackle. Wendell Moy has been a plug and play. He's maybe your best offensive lineman. He's been fantastic through 2 weeks. Pendleton's been good. Snap stuff's a little question mark. But you have Satterwhite behind him in that. I'm like, I don't know if that's the worst thing. Umarov has been a plug and play 6-man swing guy. He's great. Jesse Perry gives you depth. David Sanders hasn't played yet, and you haven't heard. I mean, Aguilar hasn't been on the ground once. So Aguilar of all of his dropbacks, he's only been pressured on 22% of his dropbacks. 78%. Not
out to change.
We'll see. I don't know. Tennessee's offensive line's good, man.
I mean, we gotta just.
I do think the offensive line is good, Brett. I know what you're saying. I do think it is good.
They had a defensive tackle like 240. I mean,
I do think it. Like I'm not. I honestly, I don't take anything away from this weekend. I think I'm just more so just watching what they look like again after that Syracuse matchup. It's going to be a totally different deal on Saturday, without a doubt. But I would agree with Chase. I think the offensive line has been impressive, knowing a lot of the unknowns you have, refilling a lot of positions there from last year.
I just wonder what we got to score because I think the defense is significantly worse from last year.
Significantly?
Yeah, you got Gibson and McCoy are both out. Your defensive line is just wiped out.
I think the defensive line bounced back a little bit this week. Tyree West flashed, and you needed him back in there.
The true freshman is going to be out there trying to guard Zachariah Branch and Noah Thomas and all these other guys. Really good players.
I mean, Jalen McMurray, and I think you have to slide McMurray down against Georgia to corner and let Boo play a whole lot more star than you have to this point.
Star has to start, or Boo
has to start. Yeah.
Yes. I think he's got to play every snap if he can.
Yeah, I'm personally done with the whole, what happened this summer. Let's just play football.
And then hopefully we can force a couple punts.
Right. And I think that's
field position.
I think you got to force a couple turnovers if you're going to win the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, Jordan Ross looked really good in this game too. Jordan Ross is gonna be a player. Caleb Herring, it's been 2 bad weeks now. I just think, and you see the snap counts, Ross has outsnapped him, I think, both weeks. Marion Dye looks like a player. Isaiah Campbell got some run here on Saturday.
Wanted to see him play.
And Nathan Robinson, man, he's also a really good player. Like, he just can, if he can stay healthy, Nathan Robinson's disruptive.
And last year we were playing Georgia, they were down so many running backs. This Saturday, they're going to have their full stable of dudes. I mean, for the most part.
I mean, they don't have their top. I mean, Josh McCray has not been seen, their big spring portal addition from
But he's
Illinois.
not their starting guy, is he?
I mean, he was brought in to be number 2 behind Nate Frazier, and he's not there.
The way Syracuse were able to just kind of line up and run at you kind of worries you a little bit.
I mean, you would love David Hobbs in this game. Like, I really wish Tennessee had David Hobbs in this game.
Jackson Moy, I mean.
Moy, I feel like.
Moy will be back.
Yeah, so you have Moy, and then if Robinson's healthy, Campbell and Utley have been playing. Jamal Wallace is okay. I don't know. I think you saw Dominic Bailey slide inside a lot on Saturday. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to slide him inside, and I think you've got...
Who else was out on... Somebody else was out on Saturday. Weathersby, was he out?
I think he was out, actually. I don't think I saw Weathersby on Saturday.
I thought that was part of the other injury.
Oh, yeah, he was. Weathersby was out,
precaution.
Because West played a lot on strong side defensive end. I saw West in a lot on the upside. And Marion Dye got some healthy set. Marion Dye is going to be a player, man.
Ross was our highest graded.
Yeah, Ross is a good player, man.
Edge, I think, on Saturday.
I just don't know how much you can take from your front 7 playing an FCS team that you know you're going to dominate in the trenches. Like,
I'm saying he's graded well both weeks.
Yeah,
Jordan Ross has been good.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Ross has a big sack or 2 in this game against Georgia. I think he's going to... I mean, Georgia's right side of the offensive line is in trouble. Juan Gaston's been banged up. He didn't play this past week. Right tackle, Ernest Green. Like, we'll see on that front. Like, Georgia's been a turnstile on the right-hand side of their offensive line.
Crowd noise is going to affect them.
They were that way going into last year, though. Their offensive line was a huge issue up until they played Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they figured everything out.
Well, Tennessee also didn't blitz. Tennessee's going to have to blitz.
I kind of started their run to the semifinal.
It's true. But Tennessee and those 40 dropbacks from Carson Beck, they didn't send the house once. They were sending 4 and thought they could get home. They couldn't. And you're seeing through 2 games, Banks is going to send Arion. He's going to send Edwin Spillman. He's going to send...
You better get there.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, Josh,
you're leaving yourself very exposed. There was one area we got exposed. Was in the middle of the field on Saturday.
Right. You got to get home, though.
Yeah, you do.
So
and if you don't get home, Stockton's going to crush you.
I don't know. He doesn't scare me like Beck. He doesn't scare me
running
like Beck.
wise, or
it'll be interesting though, because I mean, this is his first road game as an SEC starter.
I think you got to spy him.
We'll see.
You got to stop that bubble screen to Branch too. He's done damage off that a lot this year.
Yeah, they had a 50-yard touchdown against Marshall.
Yeah, we talk about Boo being electric. That kid, he's next level from even that.
When we come back, we'll kick off hour number 2, talking more Tennessee, Georgia matchups we like, and then some quarterbacks on Tennessee's schedule the next couple weeks. They got off the hot start too. Should be more concerned about those 2 quarterbacks on the docket here for Tennessee. Stick with us. It's Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever the they're calling it these days at Fox Sports Knox. Fox Sports Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka, made with real brewed tea, is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, 0 carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside, or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
Friday Night Lights are back, and that means so is the SM Athletics Friday Night Scoreboard Show. Join me, Tim Hill, a.k.a. Vols Tim 85, and my crew every Friday night starting at 9:30 p.m. Live action, live calls, and all of the biggest talking points in East Tennessee high school football. It's the Friday Night Scoreboard Show presented by SM Athletics right here on Fan Run Radio, 1340 AM, the free Fan Run app, and streaming live on YouTube on Fan Run TV.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-631-1754. 800-631-1754. 800-631-1754. That's 800-631-1754.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half, simple luxury for on and off the course.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Hey Knoxville! Surfside iced tea and vodka made with real brewed tea is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar with no bubbles and no troubles. That's right, zero carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. Headed to a game day or party at a friend's house? Bring an iced tea or lemonade variety pack from Surfside or try their green tea and new raspberry tea vodka. Find the can with the sunset stripes this season. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Surfside iced tea and vodka, sunshine in a can. Must be 21 or older. Enjoy responsibly.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
It's the Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. William Pattison of Overtime from 6 to 8, Monday through Friday, right here on Fan Run Radio, sitting in here, co-hosting with me. My name is Chase Thomas, and we are now kicking things off here with hour number 2, full studio. Like I said, William Pattison, Brett Hoolander, and Garrett Armbrust here, going into hour number 2. William, do you think this is the best chance UT has had to beat Georgia in the Heupel era? Why or why not?
Yes, I've been saying this probably since June. This is the best chance Tennessee football has to beat Georgia. It's early in the season. Both teams are undefeated. The morale and the hype is still there for Tennessee right now, as you've impressed through 2 games. You're in your own building. Neyland Stadium is going to be rocking. It's going to be a great crowd where there's a buzz in Knoxville right now that I haven't felt since 2022 leading up to that Alabama game. There's all of that. There's the emotion part to it. The second thing is the reality for Georgia, and it's that you've got a quarterback that doesn't have a ton of experience that is making his first start on the road in what will be a really tough environment to play in. We've seen experienced guys like a Jalen Milroe last year struggle with the noise. We've seen the Bryce Youngs of the world struggle with this noise. So even some really good quarterbacks, I'll say Bryce Young was good, at least in college, not in the NFL. Jalen Milroe, a little bit of an open book in terms of what he was in college, but there have been experienced quarterbacks, more experienced guys that have come to Neal and struggled. Also, go back to Georgia over the last couple of years. Their SEC road openers are always a little bit shaky. Last year, this team went on the road to Kentucky. Kentucky was a bad football team last year, and Georgia won by 2 scores. And if it were better coaching on Mark Stoops, this might have gone a different way, as Kentucky kind of punted on giving themselves a chance to win late. But all of those things combined, I think Tennessee has the best chance to beat them because it's early in the season, because it's a new quarterback for the Bulldogs, and because they have usually struggled in these opening games in the SEC. This one's going to have a little bit more flair to it. It's obviously Kentucky isn't one you've got to get up for. But I look at this one and say, Tennessee, Coach Heupel, if you want to get it done, this is your opportunity.
G6 Garrett, do you share that sentiment?
I think so, because the 2 best teams that we've had in the Heupel era against Georgia have been on the road. 22 and last year, this is your best team you get at home. 21 was obviously year 1 at Heupel. You can't really expect much that season. And then 23 was kind of a little bit of a fall off from 22. That wasn't that much of a competitive game at all after the opening score. So I think this is everything that William said. This is going to be Gunnar Stockton's first game in the SEC. It's going to be a road game. The Kentucky game that he was talking about last year, that was, a 13-10 game. Spencer Rattler almost went into Athens a couple of years ago and beat them in the opening SEC game. I think this is definitely the best opportunity that Tennessee's had in the Heupel era to beat Georgia, especially with it being at home.
All right, Brett.
It was last year. I thought it was last year.
That was the best chance?
I thought so. I think your defense is better last year than it is this year. I think the way Georgia had come off and gotten absolutely obliterated by Ole Miss, the pass rush that they showed, you thought your pass rush could come out and do it against a wounded Georgia team. Carson Beck had not been playing well. And you got off to a great start. I mean, it looked like it was going to happen that way. I mean, you should have been up 14-0. You're up 10-0. The unknown I'm not knowing, I think, is what's killing me for this one. And if you just want to say it's because you're playing at home, I don't think that's enough to say that, because I think what Georgia's done to you at home as well. And I think with their experience all around, I just think they might be a little better team than they had last year, So I thought it was last year personally.
I think the timing of the game, though, is important, because when you've played them in years past, it's been later in the year where, like a couple of seasons ago, Tennessee had already racked up
But Georgia was not playing well last year.
No, that was on the road, though. In the SEC, I'm talking about that 2023 game you're referring to where Georgia came in and won in Neyland Stadium. And you're saying that the atmosphere or playing at home shouldn't be much of a factor. But at that point in the season, a lot of the hope was lost for that current team. Like, you already had 2 losses. Everyone kind of figured out Joe Milton wasn't going to be a guy that takes you to the playoff. Right now, just because of the anticipation of being a 2-0 team, there's going to be a little bit more juice. Like, right? I mean, if you're a 2-loss, 3-loss team, you get up for the game because it's a big one, but there's not as much at stake for you. Like, there's a lot at stake for both these teams. Winner of this one has a signature win for the college football playoff in week 3 of the
Well, how
season.
did you feel going in the Georgia game last year?
Last year?
Yeah.
Well, yes, it's a road game. It's tough to win on the road in the SEC. I like Tennessee's chances. I like the opportunity.
But do you know enough from our team going into Saturday? Like, we knew what the 2 teams were going into last year.
Well, I think with last year's team, though, it was a lot of what if Nico or what if this offense are able to do, better down the field or able to execute at a higher level. You knew what the defense was, and the defense was the one that disappointed. I think this year, though, you have at least through 2 games, and I know I'm not trying to take too much credit from what happened on Saturday against ETSU, a team that, you shouldn't take much stock in that game at all. But I feel like the offense has looked a lot cleaner. They've executed at a higher level, and I think you've got an offensive line that has at least shown that they can do their job. We'll learn a lot more on Saturday, but I think from the first 2 games, you've got a solid grasp of what this team is.
I kind of wonder, when you think about where this game now falls, like if Florida, the road game at Florida was this Saturday and it wasn't Georgia at home, Would you be this confident about Tennessee ending the streak of going into Gainesville and winning?
I would personally hate it if we went on the road to Florida this weekend. I think that'd be a horrible situation. They're coming off a big time loss. Everyone and their mother would love Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I was saying Florida had lost the previous game before Tennessee traveled there in 23, correct? Ooh. Florida was not undefeated at the time. They'd come off a loss to Kentucky, I believe.
Did they play Kentucky that early that season?
Because that would have been like, no, I don't think.
Or was it? I guess no. They maybe started off the year with.
They did lose to Kentucky.
Lost to Utah to begin the year.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they lost to Utah in the opener.
That's what it was.
Second game,
and they got kind of pounded in that one.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I mean, I don't know what's worse. Playing. I think Florida at the end of the season could be better because that's going to be after a drag of a year for them, where they're going up against top opponents every weekend. The thing with playing Florida so early in the year is that both teams are usually on good trajectories at the current time. And as the season goes on, Florida usually had, hit a dip or ended up like as a 7-5 team. But at the time, they were 2-0 or 3-0 and would, play a Tennessee team that was 2-1 or 3-0.
Yeah, I'm just so cautiously optimistic about this, where I can't shake how Tennessee started last year offensively. I mean, Nico looked really good out of the gate. Tennessee's offense looked very fun. It's easy to forget, hindsight's 2020, but the Vols optimism with Nico.
Nico was going to New York.
Yeah. I mean, the wrinkle part of it where fans were like, oh, we got 12 personnel if we need it. We got some other stuff. And I do think what's real is the receivers as a whole are better than what you had a year ago. A lot more juice than what you had a year ago. You had one guy with juice a year ago, Dante Thornton. I think they have multiple options now who can get hot in a hurry and can potentially. I mean, Brazel and Mike both went for over 100 yards receiving. Tennessee did not have two guys go for 100 yards the entirety of last season, regardless of who they were going up against.
That's where I push back a little bit, though, because 100 yards against ETSU.
What I'm saying is there are factors. Like, I just trust more of the receivers in terms of what they're capable of. I just think Georgia is, in particular, their defense, how they play, is a bad matchup with Tennessee. And it's to see it to believe it. I want to be pleasantly surprised. I don't want to go, I'm not going to make my prediction yet, but I do think what scares me the most about this matchup right now is I do think because there's so much, there's so many question marks with Georgia's offense at the moment, we're now overlooking where they are in their front seven. And I think Georgia's defense is the best it's been since 22. And that's a little scary for me in terms of what this is going to look like, because the competition is just going to be so starkly different for this Tennessee offense versus what they're going to deal with in their front seven. And like I said, I want to be wrong about the receivers being able to handle the physicality of Georgia, because they're going to grab, they're going to pull, they're going to see what they can get away with. They're very
physical. Aguilar under pressure.
I mean, he's been good. If you look at his stats through 2 weeks,
quit doing 2 weeks. Quit doing that.
What I'm saying
There's
is
no pressure in the last 2 weeks. None.
Well, I mean, he got pressure. I mean, he still had to do
What's
stuff.
What's his pressure rate the last 2 weeks?
I mean, I told you he's not been pressured on 78% of his dropbacks.
Is he able just to hit his first read the whole time? That's the other thing. Like, if your first read's not there, what are you doing?
Williams not going to like what he has to do on Saturday, I think, to win this game.
What?
For Tennessee. I think he's going to have to throw some yes balls, and Tennessee's going to have to come down
with him.
How does that go against a team like Georgia?
Well, here's what you got to remember, too. The thing about
you can't give him short fields,
but if you hit him, you're putting him in a hole.
Sixes.
And if you don't hit him, the game's over in the first half.
But that's how it's been every single season.
You just gotta hope.
So why would we replicate that?
I mean, what you're not trying to replicate is going into a shell and not being able to do anything in your scheme against Georgia, especially in the second half. The way to get around that, I just feel like, is Joey doing stuff, improvisation. Him improving. Like, I think Joey has to improv in an elite way on Saturday for Tennessee to have a chance. He has to improv.
There's improv without throwing.
There's a difference between improv and recklessness. Yeah. I thought what he did Saturday on that, it was a very good play. Mike Matthews is able to jump up and soar into the air against a 5'6" DB, and it's impressive. But that's reckless against Georgia. Double coverage. I mean,
you get a defensive PI though there potentially.
There's a difference between recklessness and improvising. I'm okay with improvising and, extending a play to the sideline for a 10-yard gain, but zipping it down the field on a prayer, I don't think is going to be how you beat this Georgia team.
I'm not saying you do it a bunch, but you try it twice. I'm okay with that. I'm okay trying twice.
Well, let's just take shots on one-on-one, take a 50-50 ball. But I don't like the zipping into tight windows stuff.
He has to. That's the only way to beat him. You have to zip it into tight windows against Georgia.
And when he did that last year, he had 14 interceptions and took Appalachian State out of a ton of games.
Yeah, but then you lose. It doesn't matter. You're going to lose if you don't do it either way. So you at least try and fail than not try at all. You have to do the tight window stuff. You have to push. I mean, remember, Hendon Hooker, that first drive against Georgia in 2021, when Tennessee went down and scored in their opening possession, he was throwing it up. Like that defensive pass interference on Keely Ringo down the left-hand side where he just threw it up. Like he threw a duck and Ringo just tackled. I don't even remember. Was it Javonte Payton, I think, got tackled on that one in the end zone, and they ended up getting a defensive pass interference. They drove down the field and scored on the first possession. Like what happens is Tennessee does not, like they have to continue to be aggressive like that. You have to try and get defensive pass interference. You have to get you have to put Georgia on their heels. Like they have to feel uncomfortable with Aguilar outside of structure and that he's going to try stuff that previous quarterbacks have not tried.
Comparing the 6-5 Tennessee or 6-4 Tennessee 5, whatever they were at that point in the season in 2021 to this team who's 2-0 and has, playoff aspirations. Like that team was playing with house money. They got drilled. They got blitzed. But
the offense was better and more proven than this offense.
If you're down 14-3 at half, you can take some chances in the second half and get back in the game. If it's 10-10 at halftime, you're good enough to play with them. The home field advantage in the second half could be the contributive factor. If you try those dumb decisions in the first half and throw 3 interceptions and it's 21-3 at halftime, there's no juice in the stadium. The game's over.
You see what I'm saying? Like the difference between 2021 is like that team was already fried. You were going to the Music City Bowl. Like you could take those chances because no one cares. Like that was the only opportunity you
had.
But
in the grand scheme of things, does the game mean anything? You can still make a playoff.
I think it does.
You're not playing for an East championship.
But you've got to, at the end of your season, you've got to go. You're not beating Alabama at home or on the road. I don't care how bad Alabama looked against Florida State. You're just not winning on the road there. Florida is still a toss-up to me. I think they could possibly, knock off LSU or Miami in the next 2 weeks, even though they looked horrible this weekend. Oklahoma looked damn good on Saturday too. So you've still got 3 games down the road that are going to be tough games. If you win on Saturday, you get a mulligan, and there could also be that Josh Heupel, game that you don't expect
Schedule
coming.
Looks a lot tougher, after what Mississippi State does and stuff. Yeah.
Let's get Rusty in here real quick before we go to break. Rusty, what do you got for us on this fine Monday afternoon, my friend?
I think you guys are hitting on tons of good points, but I have somewhat more of a take, I guess, different take. Unless Kirby has changed his philosophy at the way he's going to defend us, the game's going to come down to a couple things as far as the offense for us goes. He's going to try to play with a light box, as he's done every year, and stop our run game with 4 and 5 guys in the box. We have to run the football and get him out of a light box so we can take those shots against singled up coverage. Because every year he's played man underneath with 2 deep safeties and stopped us from running with any consistency. Last year was our most consistent run, and it still wasn't good enough, especially with Dylan Sampson having that fumble on the 3rd and 1 in early 4th quarter in our own territory. That was kind of the nail in the coffin for that game. So ball security from the running backs, and we have to force them out of a light box, because everybody else, that's what we do to. We force them to put more guys than they want to stop our run, and then we hit them with shot plays, and we can't do it to Georgia. Can that change? That's the question.
Thank you for the call, Rusty. I don't know. I think it's one of those where I'm right there with Rusty on this, where you just have to force Kirby to bend to your will offensively. And Tennessee has bent to Kirby defensively through four seasons. And you have to flip the script at some point. And we'll see if that's Saturday. I think that has to be part of it. But if you have to do some arm punts here, like that would have been in that Mike Matthews, if it does get picked off by KJ Bolden, look, they get the ball at like the 1 yard line or it's a touchback. Like those are still, I don't think that bad to throw. Now, some of the stuff that Tennessee's done in the past, I mean, you can't go for it on your own 10. like they did against Florida last year and even playing at home. Like I wouldn't recommend that. Heupel got pretty aggressive against Florida last year, so we'll see how aggressive he is. I just think by nature he's an aggressive guy, and I think he is going to try some aggressive stuff, and he wants his quarterbacks to be aggressive, but not reckless. I think Joey Halsey had a comment about that this summer where he wants his guys not to be reckless but aggressive. I think there's like a fine line. I know I'm paraphrasing here, but I mean that's what separates great quarterbacks from good quarterbacks. That's why some quarterbacks become checkdown artists, because they get discouraged from trying those 50-50 balls or like placing it in really hard areas. So they're like, I'll just take the check down. So it's different, and we'll see. I think Aguilar is going to take those chances though. So Rusty, we appreciate the call here. We got to go to break, but when we come back, we'll talk some more Tennessee football. Stick with us, Chase, right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
For the fans, by the fans, this is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Today, we raise a glass of Jameson Irish whiskey to the sport of football. Hear, hear!
To Gaelic football, born in Ireland in 1885 in its thrilling blend of soccer, rugby and basketball. On a massive field, 15 players kick or hand pass a round ball to score points over a bar or into a net. No pads, no helmet, no sense.
Hear, hear!
To college football, which kicked off in 1869 when Rutgers beat Princeton 6-4 in the Battle of New Jersey. With 11 players and helmets and pads, teams battle on a 100-yard gridiron with explosive pass plays and hard-hitting tackles. Unless you're called for targeting.
Hear, hear! Since 1780, Jameson Irish whiskey has been enjoyed by sports fans all around the globe. Whether your football is Gaelic, American, or even soccer, we can all agree on super smooth Jameson Irish whiskey. Hear, hear!
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess, but isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
It's the Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. William Pattison of Overtime from 6 to 8, Monday through Friday, in studio with us here on a Monday. We also got Brett Hoolander and Garrett Armbrust on the 1s and 2s. William, as we continue on our series here on Tennessee and who's on the schedule, I think this is kind of interesting because I was locked in on Blake Shapen at Mississippi State, who, again, should the trend of wearing the all-black uniforms, like Iowa State does it, Mississippi State, just wear the maroon. where are your colors? What are we doing? Like West Virginia has that all black too. It's got to go. All of them in the trash.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I did
I
too.
thought they had some swag.
No, trash.
No,
Throw them in the dumpster. You're a
No
maroon
fun
school.
chase over here.
I want you to look like
New day, buddy.
Matt Green and I talk about this. One of my good friends went to college together. It's like, if I have to squint and not to figure out who I'm watching because you're so far off your
Cowboy Bell didn't tell you.
Hold on. I'm talking about the look on the field.
Oh,
that
smart,
looked
sharp.
nothing like Mississippi State. Nothing. Like when Iowa State wears that all black, they don't look like them at all. West Virginia, when they wear that all black, you don't notice. Tennessee, you notice because you still have the black and orange, and it works a little bit. This is terrible. Like I was distraught looking at that nonsense on Saturday.
Gosh.
They have great colors. They have a great maroon. Just wear the strong maroon.
They had maroon on there.
No, it was
they
all
not
black.
maroon stripe. No. Oh, I thought. Oh,
I don't like Iowa State doing it.
Yeah.
Or Nebraska, but I do like. I thought the jerseys were cool for Mississippi State. They can do that. Maroon's close enough. Like maroon's a darker color.
Then just wear maroon if it's that close anyway.
I know, but the whole thing was they're doing a blackout.
I don't want it. No,
like
just wear maroon out.
Nebraska doing a blackout looks corny.
Yeah, is that a pun?
That could be.
Well, and they're doing a whiteout for us, right?
Nebraska? We don't
know
play
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
Yes,
They're
they
doing
are
all
doing a
white.
whiteout.
So are we gonna have a problem with that too? Just wear the maroon.
Wear the maroon.
One of their colors is white though.
I mean, if it's all white, where they make
What
the
are we
N
wearing? Orange
logo,
down there?
it's a good question. We
all
whiffed.
orange. That'd be ugly.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, we whiffed in the opener where there should have I wasn't consulted on what we wore in the opener against Syracuse, but that was a huge whiff on both sides because Syracuse should have worn the blue tops with the orange helmet and orange pants, and we should have worn the Stormtroopers and have that nice contrast. Because you saw Ole Miss and Kentucky was disastrous too, where they looked a lot alike on Saturday and just different subtle shades of blue difference between the two. But Ole Miss has red in their color scheme, and they have the navy blue to differentiate. It's like, what are we doing? Like, I should be consulted on as a colorblind man, A, but B, you got to really think about this stuff. Make sure there's not a big contrast in terms of what these, or actually make sure that there is a big contrast in the two teams that you're watching, and make sure that you know what you're looking at here. But ultimately, this is something that I think is going to be something to monitor over the next couple of weeks here, because we're obviously all eyes on Georgia. Blake Shapen played really well. Game-winning drive for the Bulldogs. If he's healthy, Blake Shapen and that offense has some juice. The defensive line is also a whole lot more improved this year under Jeff Lebby and company, where they went out and they were active in the portal. They had a goal line stand against Arizona State where if they punch that in, who knows how Mississippi State responds, but they held them at the one. Multiple stops there to force Arizona State to kick a field goal. They're improved up front. Tennessee ran all over Mississippi State last year, especially in the second half. They're not going to be able to do that, I think, as much this year. So I think if Shapen's healthy, he's a good player. I would take Shapen over Aguilar, but I also just think he's not the only big quarterback you're going to play in the next couple of weeks, and that's on the road. Taylon Green ran for 150 yards this Saturday. Taylon Green gave you problems already last year. Those kind of quarterbacks give Tennessee problems, especially when they're in soft zone. The linebackers being a little slow. Like Taylon Green, I could absolutely see Tennessee having problems with in Neyland in a couple of weeks. And they got to be careful with both these quarterbacks, with Shapen and Green, if they're both healthy, because Petrino's got something cooking with Taylon. I think that offense is pretty good. And I think Mississippi State's much improved in the defensive line. They're, I think, 35th in FPI defensively through 2 weeks and 53rd offensively. So Mississippi State improved in a major way. I'm not saying they're going to win the SEC or anything, but they're a good team. And look, Tennessee, they got to get through Georgia, and they'll cross that bridge when they get there. But William, I do think a lot of fans have overlooked those two matchups, and I think there's going to be really good quarterbacks coming in here that Tennessee's going to have their hands full dealing with.
Well, I was more impressed with Shapen and Mississippi State. I think Arizona State was a good team coming into the year. A huge disappointment for Kenny Dillingham and company. They had a horrible first half. They should have walked out of there with a win. Despite that, though, because you have the ball on the 4-yard line with 4 plays, you should be able to punch it in with a Kanye Uda or a Kyson Brown or whoever they have in their backfield. Unable to do that, Mississippi State is able to get a really good play, really good football thrown from Shapen, and end up scoring a touchdown immediately, and Mississippi State gets a big win. I'm more, if I had to choose between either of these, I guess I'd be more worried having to go on the road in a night game and play Mississippi State in that environment. But Arkansas isn't scaring me. Taylon Green's a really good player. He should have transferred and left Arkansas. He's too talented of a guy to be rotting away with the Razorbacks, who, if they come into Neyland Stadium and beat Tennessee, I'll say I won the lottery last week. I don't see how that happens. But I do think Taylon Green is good. I think, honestly, there are days that I believe Green is better than Chapin. But, again, he's got a supporting cast that is not as strong. If I had to give a head nod to one guy, I'd say Chapin for what he did this weekend against an Arizona State team that severely disappointed me.
Yeah, Tennessee has not won in Stark Vegas in a long time. Obviously, Arkansas has won the last 4. They've won 5 of 6 against Tennessee in the series, including won their last game in Knoxville in 2015. They did win 24-20. I don't know. I think Tennessee has to be on upset alert in terms of just not taking Arkansas and Mississippi State for granted. They have to look at both as hey, they can absolutely win this game. Arkansas beat you last year just straight up. Mississippi State has a lot of confidence. And like I said, they're just a better team than they were a year ago. And what you saw coming to Knoxville, Tennessee cannot take both for granted or they will get beat, Garrett.
I think the Mississippi State game's definitely more scary. I'll give my flowers to Mississippi State. They played much better than I thought they would. I thought Arizona State would come in and beat them by 2 scores. Mississippi State played great. That was their biggest home game that they've had where their stadiums got amped up like that in probably since the Mike Leach era. Good on them. They won the game. You're still a better team than both of those teams. You should be able to take care of business against both those teams, especially Arkansas. In the Heupel era, the games against inferior opponents at home, you don't lose very often. It's a revenge game from last season. That locker room's going to be hungry for the Arkansas game. I think you beat Arkansas. I think you beat both of them. I think there's a bigger chance that Mississippi State could upset you, but you have to look at it and say, you're the better team on both. You're just better than them. You should still win no matter what.
What do you think, Brett?
It's tough. You're coming off a bye as well against Arkansas, so you got to feel good about that. But a lot depends on how this weekend goes. How healthy are we and things like that. But with Mississippi State winning against Arizona State at home, it changes things a little bit. And so it worries you, I think, a little bit more just for simple fact that they kind of, for the most part, especially that first half, dominated Arizona State. So, yeah, I think I'm more wary of Mississippi State at this point.
Let's go around the room here. William, your confidence level at 1 to 10 that Tennessee gets through Arkansas, Mississippi State unscathed, 1 out of 10.
9.
Oh,
Tennessee will not lose to Arkansas at home. And, if you lose this weekend, Tennessee will have a lot more of an initiative to make sure they go handle business on the road against Mississippi State. I think it was more of an indictment on Arizona State this weekend for how poorly they played in the first half and not executing in critical moments. I think Arizona State was a really good football team heading into the year. But Kenny Dillingham this offseason talked a lot about how there were moments where his guys were practicing like they had already been crowned the Big 12 champions once again, and kind of showed on Saturday. I give a lot of credit to Levy. I do like Chapin. I do like Fluff, their running back who transferred over from the G5 level. But, Tennessee is just in a better spot program-wise than Mississippi State is right now. And I get the environment was rocking on Saturday, but I've been there. And if you are able to take the wind out of the sails early, that thing gets quiet and those cowbells don't clatter as much as they did on Saturday when Mississippi State goes up 17-0, has a lot more momentum, and is able to withstand the second half push from the Sun Devils. 9 out of 10. Arkansas, Mississippi State are not big concerns for me right now.
What do you think, Garrett?
I'd say probably 8 out of 10. I just don't see how you lose to Arkansas in a revenge game at home. And Mississippi State, I think your defense is good enough where you can stop them. I understand there's a potential for an upset, but you still have to look at it. They're a bottom 4 SEC team, Mississippi State. By the end of the season, they'll be somewhere around the 12-13 ranking in the SEC probably. It's not the same. I understand that Vanderbilt went to Virginia Tech and beat an inferior Virginia Tech team. But if we were playing at Vanderbilt in a couple weeks, would you be as nervous as if we were playing at Mississippi State? I mean, it was kind of a similar situation. They went on the road and dominated the team that they were playing.
What about you, Brett?
I'm a 7. I think I was impressed by Mississippi State. I mean, it's a road game in the SEC. It's going to be a night game. I don't know what we're going to be. I think we're not as good as last year's team. I don't think.
I think we're better in some areas. But
which areas?
Offensive line, they're better. I think quarterback, they're better.
I just worry defensively. That's where I'm worried. I mean, Syracuse scored almost 30 against you. That's a worry.
I'm at 4 out of 10 in confidence that they get through both unscathed. 4 out of 10. Yeah.
If you lose one of those games, you're going 8-4 then. Because
but I thought my prediction coming into the year was 8-4 for Tennessee. I predict 8-4. We're gonna see. We're gonna learn a lot about Tennessee on Saturday, but I do think Arkansas and Mississippi State can give Tennessee some real problems. We'll see. I don't love it. I don't love that they're squashed together.
Do you think Mississippi State has 2 signature wins in the first 5 weeks of the season?
That's why I'm happy Arizona State won this weekend. There's no way they get 2.
The thing that's good is that Arizona State ran like 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So with 2 or 3 of their guys, Leavitt had a horrible game.
But would it really surprise you if Tennessee's in a slot fest against Arkansas where it's like 24-21?
That feels shootout-ish.
Not at home. I think it's going to be a carbon copy of South Carolina from 2 years ago.
Taylor Green is a good player, man.
Spencer Rattler was a good player.
But, I mean, Spencer was more I don't know. I just don't know if Taylor's going to get rattled like that. And he has obviously better – I mean, he's going to use his legs a whole lot more than Spencer did. Spencer, not really a running quarterback.
Spencer, the year before, put up 63 points against Tennessee.
Right,
How would he not be rattled going up against him a year later?
I'm saying Taylor Green, the difference with Taylor and those kind of quarterbacks, Graham Mertz gave Tennessee all kinds of problems. Matt Corral gave them all sorts of problems inside Neyland Stadium. Because remember, Matt Corral beat Tennessee in a similar way to the way Taylor Green could beat Tennessee, where he just does enough. 3rd and 7, Tennessee just can't get off the field. And
so you think it's more likely, you almost sound like it's more likely Arkansas beats us at home than we go to Mississippi State.
If Tennessee loses to Arkansas in Neyland Stadium, I'll show up nude to work for the whole
I don't
week.
think we could do it.
That's just not happening.
I could see Oklahoma doing it with a dual threat quarterback in Mateer, but it's just not going to happen in a revenge game.
We'll see. I don't feel great about those two back to back. I don't feel good about it.
I don't know. I think if you stop Omega Blake, they don't have too many deep wide receiver guys on Arkansas that could do that much damage. I don't think Arkansas's defense is anything that special. No. I don't know. I'm not saying you want to take them lightly, but it's just like you're the better team. Like
you're the better team, but they have a better quarterback in both those games. So I don't know. We'll see.
Is Arkansas even beating Memphis? Like I'm not even sure they beat Memphis on the road.
I'm just saying, we've seen these kind of games before where the quarterback is able to keep these drives alive against Tim Banks and company, where the middle of the field was a problem on Saturday. I think one of those things, we'll see if Edwin Spillman, who's still super young, Jeremiah Thielander, can he handle Taylor Green in space on 3rd and 7? Like, can Tennessee get off the field against Arkansas? Like, that is something that I
hope.
I'm curious. I
would hope.
I would hope so too, but I think it's something to keep in mind. When we come back, we'll put a bow on this Monday edition of The Chase. Stick with us. It's The Chase right here on Fan Run Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app.
Congratulations. You found sports radio that doesn't suck. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Tired of waiting for the weekend or good weather to play around? From casual to committed, Back Nine Golf has got you covered. Open to the public and offering flexible membership opportunities, they offer 24/7 access to 5 different simulators, providing cutting-edge technology, instant swing feedback, fun mini games, and a wide variety of courses to choose from. Perfect for that solo round you want after work, or swing by with food and drinks for an afternoon with friends and family. No stressful tee times, no rain delays. It's Back 9 Golf your way. Book your tee time now at theback9golf.com.
A brand built in Tennessee and born from the love of the game, Inward Half revolutionizes golfing comfort. Crafted by a former pro and dedicated enthusiast just like you, our luxury performance wear guarantees you stay cool and comfortable through every swing and every day. We're not just a brand. We've set out to create a lifestyle for those who understand that impeccable style and premium performance are a hole-in-one. Enjoy the walk-in with Inward Half.
Hey folks, if you're in need of a lawyer, you need to call my friend Jerry Givens. I've known Jerry since high school and can personally vouch for him. He's East Tennessee through and through, and if you're going through a divorce, bankruptcy, or a DUI case, you'll need someone you can trust on your side to help you navigate the local legal system. You can trust Jerry Givens. Call the law offices of Jerry Givens today at 865-801-9250 to schedule your free consultation. That's 801-9250.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
This is Chase right here on Penryn Radio, Fox Sports Knoxville, 105.7 FM, 1340 AM, and always streaming for free on that Fan Run Radio app. William Pattison of Overtime in with us on this Monday from 6 to 8 Monday through Friday. The Drive with Russell Smith and Bob Baskerville and the Bear coming up here at the 3 o'clock hour. Thank you for sticking with us here Monday through Friday, 1 to 3, right here on Penryn Radio and Fox Sports Knoxville. So we put a bow on it. G6 Garrett. What did you see this weekend on the G6 front? Who's your G6 Heisman through 2 weeks, and who's your G6 CFP representative?
Well, I think you obviously have to start with the USF win over Florida. I think you could make the argument that they have the best resume in the country through 2 games. They've beaten, I believe they're the only team in the country that's beaten 2 ranked teams the first 2 weeks of the season. They beat 25th ranked Boise State week 1, and then what was Florida this week? 13, somewhere in there. Yeah. So back-to-back wins there. Pretty impressive. I don't know that they're going to be able to keep that momentum rolling the entire time this season. I think as of right now, you would have to say that they're obviously the G5 playoff pick, but they still have a tough schedule. They're going to have to play UTSA. They're going to have to play Memphis. They're going to have to play Navy. Like, they still have to play a lot of tough teams. In the American, I think the winner of the American will end up making the college football playoff unless USF loses 2 or 3 games coming in. And Boise State somehow goes undefeated the rest of the year. They would probably have to beat Notre Dame on the road week 5 for them to get back into contention, with USF having the head-to-head advantage. Texas State had a good win this week over UTSA. Tulane won again. Got a little ugly at the end, little backdoor cover for South Alabama there. But I think Tulane and USF right now would be the 2 top teams. As for the best player in the G5, I guess you just have to go Byron Brown. I think he's been really good. I think the story of USF, though, so far has just been how good they've been at the line of scrimmage. They completely manhandled Boise State, and then their line of scrimmage game was able to help them stay in the game against Florida there. They forced that special team safety, and then they kind of break through on that long shot toward the end of the game into the third quarter where they scored there. So pretty impressive what they've done for the first 2 weeks of the season. And shout out to Alex Golish, finally getting them over the hump. Past couple of years, they've had solid teams, but they just haven't been able to break through. They've gone 7-6 the past 2 seasons. It appears this year will be a little better than 7-6.
What do you think of UNLV? They get the win over UCLA over the weekend. now at 3-0. Obviously hasn't been the sexiest start after you had a rough one against Idaho State and had a couple of growing pains in the second half against Sam Houston. But, the Mountain West was the representative for the G5 last year. Dan Mullen and UNLV, could they possibly sneak in to the playoff this year and represent the Mountain West for a second straight season?
I mean, I think it's possible. I think them and Boise are still definitely unequivocally the best two teams in the Mountain West. San Jose State was a team that a lot of people are high on before the season. They took a horrible loss week 1 to Central Michigan that ended pretty much any hope that I had for them this year. I think people severely overreacted to the UNLV Idaho State game. It was bad, but they were running a 2 QB game. They had Orgy in there. They had Calandria in there. Calandria is their guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be their QB the rest of the season. He's a much better pocket passer. He can use his legs. He's athletic. I understand Alex Orgy's an athletic freak, but Calandria is going to be their guy. They have a lot of good players on that team. Dan Mullen is a really good coach. If they can beat Boise this year, they have a chance. I think them and Boise will definitely be in the in the Mountain West championship game. And that game could be a path to the playoff. I think JMU's another team. They looked good against Louisville the other night. They had held Isaac Brown to less than 3 yards per carry until he broke through at the end of the game there. But they also have a QB problem. Alonzo Barnett is still not healthy from his ACL tear at 100% yet. And then they have Matthew Sluka in there who simply cannot pass the football.
I hated that game plan for JMU on Friday night. Obviously a lot of people are watching Kansas City and the Chargers and, being the college football sicko I am, I was watching JMU Louisville. Isaac Brown, first off, is incredible for Louisville. But JMU, the 2 quarterback system is so dumb, but it's also even dumber when your whole game plan, when one guy is in, is to run the ball. The only throws that Matthew Sluka had were little, screen passes, bubble screens. Like, you're making it so predictable that it's going to be a quarterback power every time. And JMU had a chance. They had a chance to win this game, but I thought their game plan quarterback-wise was really bad.
I mean, I was just waiting for him to take the shot. Inevitably, at one point, I thought that was what they were doing, was they were going to sell that he was going to run, and then at some point they would take a deep shot. They never took a deep shot. I just didn't understand. He threw an interception. He's thrown 2 interceptions through 2 games. He was the starter at UNLV. Don't forget, last year, he leaves the team to an NIL dispute, and he will be riding the bench once Alonzo Barnett is fully healthy by probably week 5. He is not a good quarterback.
I called him Sluka Doncic last year because they got that win over Kansas. And I was like, man, I'm feeling it. UNLV was in prime position.
Yeah, and then Haj Malik Williams came in for UNLV, and they realized that he could do the exact same thing that Sluka could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder what would happen because UNLV has to go to Boise later on this year. The Mountain West has a Mountain West championship game. Last year it was UNLV and Boise.
Mm-hmm.
If UNLV beats Boise and finishes 12-0, let's say they do that, finish 12-0, and they lose to Boise in the Mountain West title game, does Boise get the nod, or would they still give it to UNLV in that situation?
What would Boise's record? You're saying if Boise wins it, because they still have to play Notre Dame.
Let's say they lose to Notre Dame too.
Well, it'd be the highest ranked group of 5 winner. You got to win your conference.
Yeah.
Oh, so that is it. So is it?
You got to win the conference.
You do have to win the conference.
You can't just be an at-large.
Man, that's tough. Do you want to go? You want to lose in the blue field? Just take that one. If you're UNLV, just get to the title game. That's your one loss.
Well, if you beat them in the regular season, you would host.
Yeah.
UNLV would host Boise in Las Vegas.
But I mean, it'd be a hard thing to beat them twice in the same year. And it's more important to win the Mountain West title game. I guess my point is like be strategic
definitely
here.
I don't know. I don't want to say they're weaker this year, but that USF game, their offensive line is supposed to be very good. They have multiple guys on that offensive line that are NFL potential. They got completely manhandled against USF. That was concerning to me. They have a very good running back room, but Maddox Masden looked horrible week 1. I mean, he looked very bad. And he's going to have to be better because those two teams should be in the championship game for the Mountain West. The Mountain West is not very deep this year. Fresno State's decent. Colorado State should have lost to Northern Colorado.
They're terrible.
I don't know if you saw the video of that, but Northern Colorado got a game-winning touchdown pass that they said hit the ground. It never hit the ground. And outside of that, I don't think anyone in the Mountain West has a chance to win. I just don't think I think the American's so much deeper than any other G5 conference. It's just going to be the winner of that.
Yeah, I'm very curious how it ultimately shakes out. It seems like we have Tulane, they've got Ole Miss The week after next, Tulane's still in the mix, obviously.
Yeah.
UNLV, Boise still in the mix. USF.
Tulane has Duke and Ole Miss, and they already beat Northwestern. They scheduled 3 Power 4 opponents in their first 4 games.
Duke, man, I mean, they're in the bottom. I think they lead FBS in fumbles lost through 2 weeks.
Well, they had 5 turnovers this weekend. And everyone was like, William, how was Illinois considered a top 11 team in the country? I go, Illinois' defense is really good. And everyone looked at that line for Duke and Illinois on Saturday and said, how is Illinois only a 2.5-point favorite on the road against unranked Duke? And they go out and whip them 45-19. That defense is really good. Xavier Scott was an all Big Ten safety a year ago. Gabe Jacas on the defensive line is going to be an NFL guy. They had 3 guys that could have gone the draft last year come back. They're good. And Luke Altmaier is experienced and he's composed. I like Darian Mensah, but man, he had a tough outing. And Duke did too.
So USF and UNLV are both projected to go 10-2 down the stretch here. If they both win their conference and they finish 10-2, I mean, or 11.
Who did you say USF and who?
UNLV.
USF would be in.
Yeah, they have 2 ranked wins.
The UNLV, it was an impressive win against UCLA. They beat a Power 4 team. Anytime a Group of 5 team can do that, that's impressive. Ohio did it against West Virginia this week.
Yeah.
It does happen. UCLA is not. They're not good. They might have the worst offensive line in the Power 4 in the country of Power 4 teams. That it will help them in the long run if they have 1 loss or something, and USF loses 2 or 3 games, and they could say that. But if it's USF has 1 loss and UNLV has 1 loss, USF's in.
That'd be interesting. Golish, is he? Do we think he's at USF for the next several years? Do we think he gets an SEC job? Where does he, like, if you were forecasting where Golish is next, like his first P5 job is it somewhere in the SEC? Is it the ACC? Where do you think he fits?
Well, I think he'll be one of the top G5 coaches to get looks this offseason. There are a couple people that said Florida this week, and I don't think Florida's going to go back to the G5 route. They just did that with Napier, and it obviously didn't turn out.
Yeah.
I could see Golish going to, Virginia Tech's hired, team guys like that. I mean, Fuente was at Memphis before he went to VT. I mean, he had a little bit of success there, but I don't know if I'm a program out there looking to revive some offense, looking to put some spark. I mean, Golish is a guy that's already proven that he can do it at the SEC level as a coordinator. He's pulled off. I mean, I thought Boise State was a really impressive win. Like, kind of didn't seem improbable because they were at home, but they were underdogs to the team that was just in the college football playoff last year and returned their tight end, the bulk of their offensive line, their quarterback. They're
one of the best edges.
Yeah, Virgin Morgan, one of the best. I mean, Boise State was the leader in the country last year in tackles for loss and sacks like that, and they returned a ton of guys from that group. I thought that was impressive. Going on the road and beating Florida, that's not something, a lot of teams in the SEC can do. So I think Golish has gained a lot of respect. I don't think he's in the nature of an SEC school yet, though. I think you got to go prove you can win in a Power 4 school before you can go to the SEC.
The one that kind of intrigues me for Golish, I mean, Ferentz is not going to retire, but he does have some Iowa State ties, obviously. Golish going back into the Big Ten. You know who I'm like, if I'm Northwestern, like they're going to fire their guy. They're opening a new stadium.
Are they going to fire Braun? I mean,
they're awful.
Yeah, but
he's out here offending Tulane.
He doesn't have the resources. They won 9 games.
I mean, they have a new AD though. It doesn't matter. Like, they are opening a new field. Ryan Field's opening up next year. You have to start fresh. You got to rip the Band-Aid off. You got to have some juice going into the
I
new
would
stadium.
Take a job there.
What a yucky job.
You know what I would take? Actually, when I was thinking about it, Wisconsin. If they fire Fickle, Golish at Wisconsin. That could be fun.
I think there would be a better chance of him going to like NC State or somebody.
I see him in an ACC school before I see a bottom tier big. I mean, Wisconsin's not a bottom tier program. Northwestern, I think, would be a horrible move for his career. I mean, you're not finding success there right now.
I'm just saying Northwestern should call him. Like, that's one of those exciting new stadium type just gamble.
I'll be excited to see where Summerall ends up because I don't know if he's going to wait on that Kentucky job with the Stoops buyout. Like, it seems like inevitably he's going to be there at some point with his ties to UK. But I don't know. That guy's a really good coach that deserves a job somewhere.
Yeah, I would agree.
He feels more Auburn-y to me.
Was Auburn firing Hugh Freeze? I mean, they got a big win.
And we'll see. We'll see on the Auburn front. That'll do it for this Monday edition of The Chase. Thank you to William Pattison, Garrett Armbrust, Brett Hoolander. The Drive coming up next. We're back tomorrow. Ryan Shepard of Archetype Insider in studio at 1 o'clock. Have a wonderful afternoon, East Tennessee.
The Chase on Fox Sports Knoxville and Fan Run Radio. Heck yeah. Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Download the free Fan Run app and take the best Tennessee